It started on an ordinary summer evening, the kind that smells like rain and old memories. I had just put up a room for rent sign outside my small wooden house. Life had been quiet since my parents passed away, and my days were mostly filled with silence, coffee, and the occasional hum of my old fan, but that night, everything changed. Two girls stood at my porch, drenched from the sudden downpour, strangers with tired eyes, holding backpacks that looked heavier than their smiles. "We were only going to stay one night," the brunette said softly, almost apologetic that I looked at both of them, one with confidence hidden under exhaustion, the other shy. Clutching her bag like it held her entire world, and before I could think twice, I replied, half joking, half confused, "Both of you, at once?" They smiled. But something in their eyes told me this night would be different, the kind that doesn't end when the sun rises. Their names were Maya and Lena. They were college students, traveling across states after dropping out of school to find themselves, as Maya put it. Their car had broken down near the highway, and with nowhere else to go, they found my ad online that I didn't usually take boarders, but something about them felt real. Maybe it was the way Lena looked at the sky like she was searching for someone up there, or how Maya filled the silence with stories she didn't want to end. That night, as I made tea for them, I noticed how different they were. Maya, bold and full of questions; Lena, quiet but deep, like a song you never get tired of hearing. That we talked until 2 a.m. about everything: dreams, regrets, families we'd lost touch with. Maya laughed about how she used to pretend she was strong, but inside she was scared of ending up alone. Lena confessed she hadn't spoken to her father in 3 years because of something she couldn't forgive herself for. They came for one night, but by the time dawn broke, the house didn't feel empty anymore. Over the next few days, they helped around, cleaning, painting the porch, even fixing the squeaky door I'd ignored for months. That I started to look forward to mornings again. The silence was replaced with laughter, music, and the sound of hope sneaking back into my life. But there was something I didn't know yet, a truth they were both hiding. That it was the 5th morning when I woke up to find Lena sitting on the steps, crying. Her phone screen glowed faintly, a message from a hospital. Maya was sick. Very sick. They hadn't been traveling for fun. They were escaping. Maya had been diagnosed with a rare heart condition, and doctors said she had only a few months left. Lena had promised her that they would live every day like it was their last. No hospitals, no pity, no goodbyes, and my house was supposed to be just another stop. That evening, I found Maya painting the wooden fence. She smiled when she saw me. "Guess one night turned into a few more," she said, brushing hair from her face. That I didn't know what to say. So I just sat beside her, holding the paintbrush. That we didn't talk about death, or fear, or what would come next. We just painted, laughed, and pretended the world wasn't closing in. Weeks passed, and every day felt like a borrowed sunrise. Lena grew quieter, her eyes tired from pretending. And I felt something I hadn't in years: purpose. But life doesn't wait for goodbyes. One morning, I found a note on the table: "Thank you for giving us a home when we had nowhere to go. You reminded us that kindness still exists. That if this is the last night we ever stay anywhere, I'm glad it was here." Maya and Lena, I never saw them again, but the house still carries their laughter, their stories, their unfinished painting on the fence. I left the room for rent sign up, though no one's ever filled that room again. Sometimes, people come into your life for just one night, and yet, they leave memories that stay forever. Maya and Lena taught me something I'd forgotten long ago: home isn't a place, that it's a moment, shared between hearts brave enough to care, even when tomorrow isn't promised. And every time it rains, I look at the porch, half expecting 2 girls with backpacks to knock again, and say softly, "We were only going to stay one night."